Hi everybody and welcome to the August Q&A video. I'm Andrew Rhodes, your host right here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel, here in my secret underground lair until my other layer is fixed. Still jobless and everything else, but yay! Anyway, I printed them out this time. 14 questions, ready to go, that you the fans and you the viewers have asked. By the way, thank you so much for this. I actually thought about opening up a Just Ask Me account, where it's like, it's an old joke I kept saying, if I knew all the answers to everything in the world, I'd be sitting on a mountaintop charging $5 an answer. Ironically, there's a website called Just Ask Me where I could do that and charge $5 an answer. I'm not joking, there actually is. I just don't know how legitimate it is, but I've contemplated it. Don't get me wrong, I've contemplated it. Anyway, I have 14 questions to go through this month, so this will be fun. First question. Would you like to see an animated film adaptations of the Power Rangers crossover comics with Ninja Turtles and Justice League? No. Although, to be honest with you, I think animated Power Rangers is about the only thing we haven't had. We have had a sort of CGI-ish Power Rangers. I think it was like a fan-made thing, which less said about that, the better. I recently found out that there's a Japanese dub of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which I find ironic because it's a Japanese dub of an American show, which was an Americanized version of a Japanese show. So, that came full circle. That came full circle. Yeah, I mean, personally, I wouldn't, because I'm not a huge fan of the crossover with the Ninja Turtles, and I hate the Justice League more than I can ever say that I hate the Justice League. But, yeah, what the hell? I mean, if we're going to go like an animated Power Rangers thing, why can't we go like the Boom Comics animated versions of those Power Rangers comics, like the Lord Draken comics and, like the Shattered Universe ones? Why can't we have that? Because that would be badass. That'd be badass. Which Capcom versus title would you like to see get made someday? Oh, that's a good one. I don't like. How about Capcom versus Nintendo? That'd be pretty good. Capcom versus Nintendo. It's the two companies that for ages have been trying to kill one another. Now, in the palm of your hands, you can control which side wins and which side loses. It's Capcom versus Nintendo. Only available on the Xbox. There we go. That's the best joke. It's Capcom versus Nintendo, and it's an Xbox only exclusive. That'd be good. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna lie, would be funny as hell. Oh god, that would be good. I got a kick out of that one. I'm sorry. That would be too damn funny. Capcom versus Nintendo today, only on the Xbox. It's Xbox exclusive. Sony company, a company that's pretty much made a lot of shit for Sony and a lot of shit for Nintendo, taking it on Nintendo, and it's only on the Xbox. That would be funny, but yeah, Capcom versus Nintendo would be a good one. Like all the Nintendo characters taking on all the Capcom characters. That would be pretty cool. I would actually enjoy that. Granted, there would be some intermixing because of Mega Man, but Mega Man was also on the PS2 and the PlayStation stuff, so no, not really. So you'd have like all the Nintendo characters, like Pikachu, so all the Pokemon, Mario. Oh, that would actually be pretty cool. All right, that's one I'd like to see. Capcom versus Nintendo. They'll never make it, but that'd be fun to see. Would you be down to see an anime arena fighter with characters from Shogaku's Weekly Shonen Sunday? Sorry. So, when I saw this question, I actually thought about this for a second. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought we already had a game like this called Jump All Stars and V Jump Stars, where they just kind of like combined all characters from like the Shonen Jump series into one fighter. Which I was like, okay. I know there was one for the DS because I never got it. I think it was, that one was Jump All Stars, I think, or V Jump Stars or something. I don't know. I'd actually have to figure that one out, but I kind of remember one, and I was like, yeah, okay, this will work. This will be okay. It's wasn't the world's greatest. I watched video of it. I never owned it. I never got a chance to own it because they wanted like $60 for it, and it was a DS game that they wanted like $60 for. Sorry if I keep taking my glasses off. They're little out of whack. Yeah, there we go. They're a little out of whack, so I'm trying to minutely adjust them so that they're not. It almost looks like they're leaning to one side and they're not. So that's what I'm trying to slightly and gently fix because I don't want to break these. I don't want to break these fucks. There we go. There we go. That should do it. That should be better. There we go. That should be better. All right, but yeah, I thought we had already had one, but yeah, I'm always down for a Shonen Jump beat 'em up. So yeah, I mean, granted, if I'm right about which Shonen series this would be, like the weekly Shonen Sunday, I don't think there's a lot of them that have massive beatdowns, but it'd be pretty cool. Give them like ultimate moves or something that fits their personality. But yeah, I'd be down for it. I would. Were you aware of the Saban trademark called Power Raider? If so, what do you think it was going to be if it went through with being made? I didn't even hear of it before. I never heard of that before. So there you go. I was not aware of it. No. I know nothing about it. Hell, I just recently watched that Lost Sailor Moon thing. So what does that tell you? Was it Saban Moon, where it's basically what was it? It was Saban Moon, where it's basically Beverly Hills 90210 meets tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. Ugh. Ugh. Look, I was 10 minutes of my life that I went back. Okay? I could see why that didn't get greenlit. Whew! I could see why. And that wasn't... A lot of people were saying that was a pilot episode. There's no way that was a pilot. The pilot episode would have been at least 19, 20 minutes. Because an anime series episode runs about a good 21 minutes without commercials. A regular television show runs about 21 minutes without commercials, 22 at the most. So that was like a 10-minute long video. That was what they ship around to companies. Like, hey, this is made by Saban. They're shipping this to TV networks. If you ever watched Defunctland's History of Jim Henson, really good documentary series, by the way. I highly recommend you go check that out right after you're done watching this. It's X amount of episodes long, but it is well worth it if you like the Muppets. He actually had made, it was like a 9-minute long video with a puppet, or actually with one of the Muppets, completely losing his shit like, well, this is why you have to pick up the Muppet Show. Because that's what they have to do. They have to come up with something to go into these meetings and go, hey, we want to do this show, we want to do this, but we need to do this, this, and this, and we need to prove to them that we're able to bring, shit to the table, we're able to do this. And the problem is, if they can't, then they don't get anything. So this lost piece of media that was found, I don't think was the full... There's no way in hell it was a full episode, because there's no setup, no plot. Even with the setup of the plot, there was no fucking plot. I'm going to talk about this in the podcast this week, by the way, so this is like a spoiler if I put this out before the podcast, which I don't think I will. So this will go up after the podcast. So if you want to hear me talk about this a little more in depth, go listen to the podcast. Go listen to the podcast for 27th. Go listen to the podcast on the 27th. Yeah. So basically, and this is how I feel on this. That was not the pilot. It was the pilot pitch. That's what they send to these to production studios. Like, let's say I create a show. I come up with a 10-minute teaser to pitch to networks. Do you want to pick this up? If you want to pick this up, give me X amount of money, and I will make the episodes, and you'll get them. If they hate it and say fuck off, then that's the end of that. That's what this was. This was not a full-on pilot episode. This was the pilot pitch. This was the pitch video that they were using to try to sell this to Western networks, and thankfully they didn't pick it up. My head hurts just watching. I showed it to my mom, and it made her queasy. It made my mom uncomfortable. It made my elderly mother uncomfortable. So what the hell does that tell you? It made her uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable. So made me uncomfortable. Let's just go with that. Oh my god, that was just. Oh god, that was horrible. That was god awful. I almost thought about doing a reaction video to it. Then I'm like, hell, if I do a reaction video and I get copyright struck, I'll lose all my shit, and I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to. I don't want to run the risk of that happening. But at the same time, I'm like, this thing should have never seen the light of day. Even that pitch pilot should have never seen the light of day. That should have stayed buried in the trash can where it was. I'm sorry. I should have stayed buried in the trash can where it belonged. I'm sorry. I am a bit of a Sailor Moon fan. I know enough about Sailor Moon to get by. I do have my favorite. You all know Sailor Jupiter is my favorite. But as far as I'm concerned, that piece of garbage that was brought back to reality should have stayed buried in the trash. I think the only good thing that did was it showed, especially for the 90s, and I was saying this to my mom yesterday, especially for the 90s, it showed paraplegics some love. And for those of you that don't know, the one character's in a wheelchair. Literally, in that little pitch pilot, the one character's in a wheelchair. The 90s were not kind to wheelchair-bound people. Be it teenagers, adults, or the elderly, they were not kind to them at all. Trust me on this. I grew up in the 90s, trust me. But, yeah, no. So, no, I was not aware of Power Raider. What are your thoughts on Alec Baldwin, on the Alec Baldwin thing? Do you think he'll recover and go back to making movies, or is his career over and he'll never work in Hollywood again? I have no idea. First off, I have no idea, and second off, I really don't care. I'm not an Alec Baldwin fan. As far as I'm concerned with this, it was an accident on set. They have those. Nothing is perfect and nothing is concrete. Whether or not he knew it was loaded, or he didn't know it was loaded, I don't know. Whether or not everything was panning out in the correct thing, I don't know. There is an entire... If you ever really want to know about a history of like set accidents and shit like that, and I keep knocking my glasses. I'm sorry if like I said, if I keep taking them off, I'm dealing with this. They are like really out of whack. I don't know why. Probably because my hair or something's messed up, or I might have slept on them weird, or I might have did something weird. But they're just like a little out of whack, and I can't really afford new ones. So, I mean, I could if I get them like really cheap online, just use my old prescription. But yeah, I don't know how all that would work, but. Anyway, if you ever really want to hear about like old time movie accidents, there's an entire thing on it. This one's the most infamous in the history of the industry. Look up the Twilight Zone movie. This thing was cursed from day fucking one. The final nail in its coffin and why it was never ever finished. They shot some of it, but it is never coming to the light of day. The one actor and two child stars were killed. The helicopter crashed on the set, and they were killed. Because this movie was cursed. They had issues galore, with like beams falling down, lights falling down. People were getting slightly injured. Then when the helicopter crashed and fire, they're like, that's it. We're done. They were done. They washed their hands of it. So, accidents happen. Until otherwise proven, I'm thinking it was an accident, and it probably was. You can't chastise somebody because of it. I mean, it's a blank. It's basically... I always figured the blanks in those guns were about the equivalent of a cap gun. And I've shot a few cap guns in my life, so I know, what that sounds like, and I know it's like, oh, it's just like, and it's a puff of smoke. If you have it set up that way, it'll be like a little puff of smoke that might shoot out the barrel. Most of the ones they sell for kids, they'll have that orange cap on the end of it, for obvious reasons. Thank you, Megatron. Long story, but back when Transformers first came out, Megatron was the gun. Because he was looking way too realistic. And if I remember right, there was like a story about a kid in another country that actually got hands on one and tried pointing it at a soldier, which got the kid shot. they decided, no, we got to change this because we cannot have it be, looking like that. So they put the orange cap on the end of it. There were cap guns. They used to look like that. You could just, now granted, you could just drill the little cap out, but now I think it's actually like a solid plug, and there's nothing there anymore. But I'm talking like the older ones, not the newer ones. The older ones, I know some of the newer ones will have like an opening, but there's nothing that's connecting the chamber where the powder. It's like you put the little cap ring or the little roll, you stick that on there, and this metal hammer hits it and makes it pop. You can actually do something really cool though, as I did this a couple times when my cap gun broke. If you lay the caps out on a flat surface and then you drop something really heavy on top of them, like a massive stone or something, they will go off, and it's basically just like a tiny little explosive. There's not enough in there to actually do any harm. It's loud as hell. Basically, that's always what I attributed these prop guns to be, with like modification that allows the smoke to shoot out the front of the hole to make it look like it actually fired. Otherwise, it'll shoot out from the back and the sides, making it look like, oh, that's not a real one. Of course, a lot of that stuff was added in like post effects and stuff, but still. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned with the whole Alec Baldwin thing, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Nor do I really care, but I don't know. All right. How much Iron Man merchandise do you have? Iron Man flash drive. This is my friend got me the one year for Christmas, and I love it. Iron Man ornament. Again, my friend got me for Christmas the one year, and I love it. An Iron Man pair of sweatpants, which, again, a friend of mine got me for Christmas, and I love them. I have a bunch of the 3.75-inch Iron Man figures from Iron Man 2, as well as a couple from the Marvel Legends series, and I do have 2 from Iron Man 3 because I was stupid at the time and really thought they were not going to drop the ball on that one, and they did. Bastards. No, bastards. You've heard me. I own a 6-inch Iron Man Mark 50 armor from Infinity War. It's really cool. I was thinking about it the whole time, and I'm gonna wake up the next morning. I'm gonna buy the damn thing. I just bought it that afternoon because I was still employed yet. I'm like, I'm just gonna buy it. Like, it was really cool. It's really badass. It was really cheap. Really good quality too. I still have it. I love it. So there's that. Let's see, flash drive, sweatpants, ornament. I have a couple Iron Man comic books. I do have that Iron Man, like the guide to Iron Man, which I have somewhere in my room. I got to find that thing. I really do like that. I think I had that with all my little invention ideas. I'll definitely have to find that. I think what else I have Iron Man related. I have a lot of Iron Man. I have this big Iron Man my grandmother got me the one time from Superhero Squad. So I have that. Yeah, I'm an Iron Man, so I have a lot of Iron Man stuff. I have some Iron Man trading cards, obviously. I mean, come on, I'm a trading card guy. Of course, I have some. That was a friend of mine was getting rid of a bunch of her trading cards, and I'm just like, I was helping her clean out her basement. She was going to throw this whole giant thing away, and it was filled with trading cards, and I'm like, I'll take them. Like, I'm thinking to myself, hey, even if I only get like $1 or $2 for these cards, it's worth it. And I spent like weeks organizing them, and I think I put up like maybe a few of them. I never got around to doing it. I think I still have most of them buried up there. A bunch of like Terminator 2 cards, stuff like that. I do have like packs of cards that she wanted me to sell. She used to do comic book conventions, and she used to work at a comic store, so she did a lot of conventions and stuff. And what she did was like, they pulled out the entire set of cards, and then they would, package them up as one thing and then put a price tag on them. So I have a bunch of those packs. So technically, I have some complete sets, which is really cool. Work on putting those up. So yeah, I have some of those. But yeah, I got a lot of like trading cards and stuff. But yeah, I got some Iron Man trading cards. I have an Iron Man puzzle that I got at the Dollar Tree the one year. Put together. My mom helped me glue the back of it so it's solid and it's in a nice little picture frame. That was around Easter because I remember my cousins were up and I'm like, please don't touch because I didn't want them to touch it because the glue was that we have to use for those. The puzzle glue is a real bitch. Oh my god, that puzzle glue is a bitch to get on. If you get that on your fingers, you feel that for months on end on your fingers. Ugh, I hate that. But yeah, there was that. Which I also have the tin then for it. I think I have an Iron Man washcloth too. One of those magic ones I got at the Dollar Tree. Well, obviously I own 3 Iron Man movies. Iron Man. I have both the Iron Man anime series. I have the one where he went over to Japan and ended up taking on Yinsen, and then Rise of the Technovore. So that's really cool. I love both of those. What the hell else do I have? Well, obviously I got the Avengers movies because of that. Well, I got the Avengers movies to show my mom, but ironically also because Iron Man. It's the only reason why I own Captain America Civil War, because I hate Captain America. What the hell else do I have Iron Man related? I don't think that's all of it. It's a bunch of figures. I have a lot. Starting to, if you want like an actual number, I couldn't give you. But as far as like stuff related, I got like a bunch of the 3¼ inch figures from Iron Man 2, a couple from Marvel Legends, and the 2 that I have from Iron Man 3. A 6-inch Iron Man figure, massive big Iron Man from Superhero Squad. The Iron Man book that gives you everything. 3 Iron Man movies, 2 Iron Man anime. Flash drive. Yeah, I have a lot of Iron Man stuff. Well, I'm an Iron Man nut. I like Iron Man. So Iron Man's my favorite. He is my favorite Marvel hero, and I'm still pissed that they killed him. Because I swear that's where they just fucked the entire MCU. I don't care what the hell they're doing with the MCU now. They killed off Iron Man. Kiss my ass. We could have got one more movie out of Robert Downey Jr. Extend his contract one more movie. When did Infinity War come out? When did Infinity War come out? You could have looked at this and said, hey, can we extend your contract? How would you feel about one more movie? One more solo Iron Man movie. Alternate reality Stark. Where he is Iron Man, but he's more secret Iron Man. Or we could have gotten Superior Iron Man, where it's like, this is the alternate reality. Sort of like, hey, they defeated Thanos in this reality. But in this reality, Thanos doesn't even know they exist. And he's been working with symbiote technology, and he created Superior Iron Man. Why couldn't we have had that? I would have killed for that. We needed that. But yeah, I have a lot of Iron Man. I have a lot of Iron Man stuff. Oh my god, I have a lot of Iron Man crap. I'm an Iron Man nut. What do you expect? I'm an Iron Man fan. I'm Team Iron Man, damn it! If you had magical powers, what would you use them for? Probably some personal use for a while, but then probably helping people. I would literally, it would be a balancing act. For every, I'd say 30 or 100 people that I'd help, I would do 2 things for myself. So it balances. Like I'm helping 100 people, and then, after helping the 100 people, I feel like, let me do something for myself. Boom, boom. Or just do a couple things for myself first, and just use the rest of it to help people. That's kind of what I would do. So yeah, that's what I would use them for. If you want specifics, I don't know. Maybe farming. I don't know. Protecting the world from storms. I don't know. I couldn't give you an accurate answer. So. Do you remember having a Curious Cat page at one point? Whatever happened to it? Still have it. Still active. You can actually find it. I did. I remember when I saw that question on the YouTube thing, I did reply back with the link to the Curious Cat page, so I still actually have it. Do I check it all the time? No. Mostly because I forget. But yes, I do still have it. It is still up. And yes, I do remember it. Favorite shows you're watching on Roku TV and Tubi right now? Haven't really watched much on Tubi or Roku TV lately. My mom and I have been watching Pluto. And we just mostly been watching Stargate. I got her hooked on Stargate. My mom's an honorary weeb, but if she makes any more comments about Digiballs catching Pokemon, I'm going to have to revoke her weeb card. God. I'm not going to lie, that was the most embarrassing moment of my life when I saw him, she's like, well, that's a Digiball. You use it to catch Pokemon. I need your weeb card. Revoked again. No, we've mostly been watching Stargate. Right now, I got her hooked on Atlantis, so we've been watching that. On Tubi, though, I would mostly watch anime. Occasional movies or shows, if they have one, it would depend on what they have, but most of the time it's anime. Because Tubi's my go-to place for anime, because they have the anime that a lot of places don't have, and a lot of it's really good. That's where I actually watched all of season 1 of World Trigger, which is 73 episodes. I know that the creator has health issues, but 73 episodes for a fucking season. They could have split that into two. I'm not even joking on this. They could have. I can tell you the exact spot. They could have split that first season in two. Season 1, season 2, and then we got season 3 and 4 down the road then. But no, that was all season 1. It's up on Tubi. I love watching that. I've watched Sea Control. I watched Fighting Foodons at one point. There's really some god-awful stuff on there that I watched just to see it. But yeah, I mostly just watch Tubi for anime. Tubi's my go-to anime spot. Occasionally I'll watch like a movie or some old TV shows if they have something up. Roku TV. So the Roku channel then basically. We were watching Eureka for a while. I wish they had Warehouse 13 on there, but they don't. I wish that they did, because I love Warehouse 13. I'd love to rewatch that again, but they don't have that. I was watching a few episodes of The Commish. I think that was the one we were watching Cagney and Lacey on in 2020, so there is that. But right now, though, currently, we're not really watching Tubi or Roku TV. I mean, I'll tune into them at the start of each month to see if there's anything new, but I do that all the time. But mostly we've just been watching Pluto, and Pluto TV is it's basically internet cable. You get ads, and you only have to pay for whatever your internet price is for your internet. So it's basically just watching TV on your computer, and it's only costing you whatever it costs for your internet. And it's not even additional, it's just whatever your internet connection costs. Oh, I love that. But yeah, I've been watching Stargate because they have an on-demand section on Pluto, and we've been watching Stargate. I got her hooked on Stargate. I am accepting that. What are some of your favorite videos you've done on your channel throughout the years, as in rants, reviews, podcast episodes, etc.? I actually like this question. All right, so favorite podcast episode, beyond a doubt, it's not even an episode, more like a topic, was the Sailor Moon condom. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is beating that Sailor Moon condom episode. Nothing. Nothing is beating that. As far as reviews go, I didn't really do a whole lot of reviews to really give an accurate answer to that. And that's mostly my fault. Like I said, and I've said this before, setting up the microphone and recording it that way is easy. And that's how I actually started out doing stuff on YouTube back with my comedy. It was just static image and audio. With evolving it, like here's a review or something, and I had to hook up like the camera here, then the microphone, the green screen, stuff like that. That takes a little extra time. Granted, I got faster. I kind of sped run it today, which I have to admit I did a pretty good job. But most of the time it's just a bit of a nuisance and a pain in the ass. If I don't really actually have to do it, I try not to. But yeah, there is that. But review-wise, I didn't really do a whole hell of a lot, but I will say my Battle Angel Alita review is one of my favorites, because I actually took the time to do that. It didn't really... I know this is the one thing that a lot of people really would like me to start doing on this channel and with my videos as a whole, and they've said that they'll guarantee me more views, but I don't do it for a very simple reason, and that is including images and video clips of what it is I'm talking about. And the reason I don't do this, as a lot of you know, copyright claims. I don't want to deal with them. If I can do something on YouTube and I talk about it, you just got to put up with me and not seeing a clip, not seeing an image. And I have some images of some stuff up on my channel. There are some videos that do have images included in it. There are a couple rant videos. There are a couple there's like one podcast that I know of. I took the time to do that. I went through and did it, and nothing. That still didn't get me any extra views. So I'm like, all right, I was not going to waste the time and do that. I was not going to waste the time, because to do that made the podcast file like almost 800 some megabytes, and it took it a good like 3 hours to upload. And it netted me maybe 4 more views. Not worth the time. It really wasn't. As far as the rant videos are concerned, yes, I used to include images. Yes, I know I can include images. Yes, I know under copyright claim clause 1, section 107, blah, 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 every freaking YouTuber has it on their channel, I would be protected. Here's a newsflash for you. I do not want to fall prey to a show pro gambit. I do not want to fall prey to false copyright claims, and I do not want to deal with it at all. So my solution to not deal with it at all is pretty much Mr. Miyagi's teaching on fighting. The best way to avoid a punch is to not be there. The best way to avoid a copyright claim is to not do anything that would involve getting copyright struck. Therefore, no images. Sorry guys, that's the way it goes. That's the way it is, I'm sorry. But yeah, rant video wise, I've had a few that I really enjoyed. Venture Brothers one, that was the first and only rant that I had for the longest time that blew the fuck up overnight. And I mean, it blew the hell up overnight. Jesus Christ, it just exploded. My Rise of the TMNT rant is like my highest rated, my highest viewed one. I loved that one. Me ripping Teen Titans Go, brand new asshole, which even the merger with HBO Max and Discovery could not kill that. There's nothing that can kill that. But yeah, as far as like rants go, Rise of the TMNT, Venture Brothers, and a few other ones are always in my top faves. Podcast episodes, nothing's beating that Sailor Moon condom. Nothing is beating that one. And as far as reviews go, I will say my Battle Angel Alita one. As far as other videos I've done, no idea. I mean, I did enjoy doing my Hunter x Hunter license review, and obviously everybody out there loves it because that one quickly blew up. I did do a video then with that 3D printed Millennium Puzzle that I got on eBay and those Jackie Chan Adventures talismans. And I still have those. I didn't prime them or anything. They're in an air. They're like in a Ziploc bag and they're inside of a plastic container, so they're not gonna go anywhere. But yeah, I have those, and I enjoy doing that. I'm like, I could do more stuff like this. Get like some anime stuff and review it. And I'm like, yeah, and that's not gonna end well either. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that then. But yeah, so like Chris said, review wise, I'd have to say Battle Angel Alita review. Rant video wise, I have a few of them that I enjoyed doing the most, and podcast Sailor Moon condom. Nothing's beating that. Favorite video games you like to play as a kid? I did not have many video games as a kid. When I was growing up, we had computer games. I had computer games for the Windows 95, which we had the Windows 95 computer. I am not joking on this. Our computer at home was Windows 95 until I was a sophomore in high school. Now, to put that into context for you, okay? Put that in the context. Here we go. Ready? Put that in the context. I graduated in 2007. So, in 2004, 2005. Probably more like 2004. So I was just going to be a sophomore in high school. So more like 2004. Summer 2004. We finally had to get a new computer. And that was Windows XP. Need I say more? Yes, so there was that. I had Lego Island. I love playing that. Descent 2 was one of my favorites. Small Soldiers. It was a tactical game, and it really showed why I hate tactical games, because they are a pain in the ass sometimes. But there was that game. Never beat it either. I didn't even beat Descent 2 until like years later, and I had to use cheat codes because the one level that they have in it, I swear to God, is rigged, and I couldn't beat it. Even the final level, I couldn't beat it. I didn't know how the hell to destroy the gate blocking me. I couldn't jump fast enough to get through it, and I just got stuck behind it. And I'm like, cheat code, and I just want to see how the damn thing ends. Okay, problem solved. Because I did not want to play that anymore. I was done. I did have Beast Wars for the PC, but I could never get it to play right. Because, again, that was a 95 computer, and while it would work on a 95 computer, it would not work. Years later, I would come to realize why it wouldn't work on the 95 computer. That was because of the 95 computer having limited RAM and memory and everything else, and blah, 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 and all the technical shit that I know now that I wish I knew back then. I had a game, my mom and I loved playing it. In fact, we actually played it like an entire Saturday. Like a whole Saturday night we were playing it. It was an educational game, so she was fine with it. She was fine. We were up till almost 11 o'clock that night playing that. We had to finish it that next morning, but she was fine with it because it was educational. It was I think it was like the 3rd grade learning adventure, and it was on an island, and there's 2 paths you could take. One took you to a place called Goo Lagoon, where you had these little creatures that were sort of like, they were supposed to be the ripoffs of the Beatles. Oh, she loved how they were singing. The other one was this other little adventure. The whole thing, this other little place. The whole thing culminated with you finish one section, you go back to the start, go to the other section, then you go back to the start, you go right up the middle, and you complete that section, and you win the game. We practically binged that bitch an entire Saturday, and then had to finish it that following Sunday. Obviously, though, I played Chex Quest when I was a kid. Loved Chex Quest. My mom was the first one, though, to beat it. I didn't beat it, but I was the only one between the two of us that could get the BFG, the big fucking gun. Because, Chex Quest is basically just a Doom mod. You go to level 2, there's a little secret area. I was the only one that could get the timing right. Without even trying really hard, I could get the timing right. Get on top of the crate, to get into the secret room, to get the BFG. The big fucking gun. Badass. I love Chex Quest. And we played Chex Quest 2 and Chex Quest 3. But, yeah, as far as a kid, though, I didn't have that many games. I only got my first handheld console when I was in 8th grade. Because a classmate of mine in 7th grade had one. He had Legacy of Goku. We were playing it. Because the teacher, at the end of that year, when I was in 7th grade, we were supposed to be moving to this newly built middle school. We didn't move to the newly built middle school. They were supposed to be doing it between the summer. We were going to get an extra week of summer vacation. But they screwed up, and we ended up getting an extra week. I think it was like an extra week or 2 at Christmas. That's when we ended up shifting. So my class only got to be in that new middle school for about 6 months, like half a year. All the more we got to be in that new middle school. That was it. Half a freaking year. That's it. That was the end of that. But yeah, because the last day of school was supposed to be a full day, and they had already made it a full day instead of a half day like it usually was because, we want to make sure that these kids are in here because they were going to use us as free slave labor. Basically, that's what we were going to be, to help move their shit. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's not going to be done until, like, November. What? Yeah, it's not going to be done until November. They had already made it solid that this is going to be the final day. It's going to be a full day. They could have still made it a half day, but they didn't want to. So the teachers didn't give a shit. That last day of school, the teachers did not care. Hell, that last week of school, those teachers did not care. Because they were like, we were supposed to be packing our shit up this week to move, but we're not doing that now. Because they had nothing planned. They had no lesson plans or anything. It's like, it's the last week of school. Just let the kids fucking go home, get out of school a week early. No, they have to be in 180 days. Oh, for Christ's sake. So It was, the teachers were just like, here's a movie, here's some snacks, enjoy, because I have nothing planned for this week. I did not have anything planned for this week other than you kids packing up boxes and taking them up to the office, and we aren't doing that now, so no. So that did kind of suck, but the one teacher just, like I said, well, all of them really didn't give a shit anymore. It was just the 7th grade ones, but still, they didn't give a shit. So, we basically just, like, do whatever you want. You want to bring a pack of cards, go for it. You want to put a movie on, I'll put a movie on. You guys can come in and watch the movie. There's some snacks, bottles of water, little juice boxes. I don't care. I don't care. Just so long as you're abiding by the school rules and you're not beating the shit out of each other, consider this a thank you for putting up with our crap for an entire year. And it worked, but my one classmate had a Game Boy Advance, and I was watching it, and he's like, well, here, and he was letting me take it for a spin a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. So then, like, that entire summer, I'm saving up my measly allowance, trying to do extra chores and shit to get Game Boy Advance, and my mom ended up lending me the last, I think it was like $16 short, because I wanted to get it in the game, and it's like, here you go, it's like the last $16. I'm like, oh, cool, we went and got it. It was Legacy of Goku was my first game. So I didn't have that till I was an 8th grader, and I would have been like 12 years old. Because my 13th birthday, I got Golden Sun. Because my one relation gave me, like, here's $26. Cool. $26 along with a couple other birthday money I got. It's like, oh, I'm going to go get some stuff at Walmart. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go get a new game. I had, at that point, I only had Legacy of Goku and Medabots Metabee version. And I'm like, cool. Got Golden Sun. That's all I need to say. I got Golden Sun. I was happy. But yeah, so I did not have a lot of games to kid though. But mostly Lego Island. I mean, the games that I did have, Lego Island, I played Hercules on the computer. Descent 2. So, Small Soldiers, stuff like that. What are your thoughts on eBay as a whole? Honestly, I like eBay. I wish I'd be able to sell a little more on eBay right now, but you have to go where the money is, and people are still looking at your stuff. It's just that, I guess, what I have up, they don't want to get, or it's just not interesting to them, and I get that. I really do, but at the same time, it'd be nice if you buy some stuff. I have had some stuff sell the last couple weeks, so it's not entirely bad, but yeah, it could be better. I like eBay, though, for getting some weird oddity stuff or stuff that you know you're looking for. Like, I did get a PS2 to USB adapter for old keyboards so that I could use an old keyboard with it. Then I realized, they have one on there that's 2 of them that you can use a mouse and a keyboard, and I should really look into getting that, too. But I at least have one just in case, like, hey, this mouse crapped out, but only mouse that I have left anymore is a PS2 mouse. Or, hey, this keyboard crapped out, but here's a really good keyboard that I had that worked, but it's a PS2 connection. Connect that into here, connect that back into the USB port, now we're back in business. So, there is that. But I like eBay as a whole for the weird stuff that you get. Their buyer protection is nice for... It's nice for the sellers, occasionally nice... it's nice for the buyers, occasionally nice for the sellers. Because they have a habit of, the seller says that this didn't work and this didn't work, but again, it worked when it left me. And it could have gotten damaged or shuffled around a bit in shipping, and therefore now I have to give a refund. I always feel like there should be an automatic middle ground. Like if, because I had this happen. I sold a telescope, and the person that got it was royally pissed off because it didn't function correctly. 1, it worked when it left me. I know that for me. It worked when it left me because the part that he was complaining about, I did check and it did work when it left me. I know that for a fact. So it was basically, it doesn't work. And it's like, so instead of just looking into the prospect of, hey, why don't you just get a replacement piece? They're not that expensive. I'll give you a partial refund, and you can use that to get that part. No, I want my full money back, you jackass. No, it worked. The problem was they weren't comfortable because it went for like $100. They weren't comfortable with the $100 payment. They wanted their money back. So I ended up getting screwed out of the $100 because they were upset that it didn't function the way they intended it to function out of the box. First off, it was old. Very old. 1. 2. It worked when that piece in question worked when I shipped it out. But because I couldn't prove it, what the hell am I supposed to prove it? Am I supposed to take video of every single thing working? Okay, I'll take a video of every single piece of mechanical. Look, it works. Then all of a sudden they come back to me and say, it doesn't work. Oh, here's a video that proves you that it worked. Oh, shit. Yeah. Then they leave you negative feedback and everything else. I kind of wish there was an option. And if anybody from eBay is listening, well, then again, why the hell would you be? You never do. There would be nice if there's an A, B, and C option for this. A, no refund. B, partial refund. C, full refund. And have stipulations. Like, hey, partial refund, and you can't leave feedback at all. Like, if you get a partial or full refund, your feedback is automatically disabled. Like, you cannot leave feedback then. Because you know they're going to leave negative feedback. Even if you give back a refund, you have a 1 in, 10 chance that they're going to leave positive feedback and go, oh, well, they were really nice about it. They gave me back my money because it didn't work. I had one that I sold a controller. It's a USB controller. And they're like, I push up and it goes down. I push back and it goes up. It's busted. You knew this. No, this is for the D-pad. It's for the little analog stick. I go forward, it goes up. I go back, it goes down. It's busted. You knew this. And when I sent this to eBay, because I had to refund the person their money. I had no choice in the matter. Because it's like, I'm going to expedite this to eBay, and I was still new to it yet. eBay's like, that's how a controller works. Okay, well, look, okay. As I said, I had to refund them the money. They're like, yeah, I ended up getting a credit on that because of that. And there was an issue. My mom had a netbook that we had gotten from a friend of ours for free. My mom, first off, the netbooks were never really that great for what their intended purpose was. If it could have been modified and had more RAM and shit put into it and a better hard drive put into it, I would have said, oh my God, this thing would have been perfect. It was crap. It was crap from the start. It was garbage from the start. They're neat little computers, don't get me wrong. They're neat little computers. But, no. They're not the world's greatest, no. But, basically, that person sent me back this lovely worded message and was demanding that I give them back their money. Now, they paid $40 for this. Which was, ironically, I think what we ended up giving our friend for, too. So I don't think they just gave it to us for free. I think we ended up having to pay for it. But what pissed me off is they're like, well, I had to take this to a place to try to get the Wi-Fi to work on it. The Wi-Fi is not working. It's busted. They can't fix it. I'm going to send it back to you for my full amount of money back. Now, for those of you that don't know how eBay works, if you take it somewhere else, I don't know what that third party did to it, but now that voids eBay's, hey, whoa, wait a minute. I don't have to give you back any money because I don't know what the hell they did. It would not be coming back to me in the condition that I sent it out to you. Therefore, no. I think we ended up coming to a deal like a partial refund because I said I'm not comfortable. I said I'm not paying you back the full amount for it. I said because you took it somewhere else. Well, it doesn't work. So, it worked when it left here, and I ran through a couple okay, well here, I said I can help you try to troubleshoot it. That's not a problem. It's like does this or this. Because it might have been something that I might have disabled when I was resetting it back to factory, to factory settings. No, they just wanted their full amount of money back. Well, when I said I ended up refunding them, I think it was like a partial refund because eBay didn't get back to me right away. Then all of a sudden they got back to me and they're like, yeah, no, you don't have to worry about refunding them at all. I said, I already had to partially refund them, so you didn't get back to me in time. Oh, because you have X amount of days and then they can just expedite it right to eBay. And the way this person was wording it, I was in fault, and I would have had to pay the whole amount back. Plus. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And when I said that, eBay was like, yeah, no, that was wrong. And I think I know I got a credit on that one, too. Because somehow you can always tell you end up getting like a credit because all of a sudden it's like, hey, you have a little more money in your, this is what you owe eBay, and all of a sudden it's like a negative balance. And I always remember if I had a negative balance, I kept track of that. So, yeah, I swear that it was basically just a, I swear I got credit on, but as far as eBay is concerned, as a whole, I like it. It can be improved. You're not going to hear me argue that. It can be improved, but as a whole, I like it. I do like eBay. What is the future of your channel? I have no idea. I honestly don't. There's a lot of stuff going on right now in real life that I have to deal with. The possibility that my mom and I might become homeless is once again rearing its ugly head, and not because I'm unemployed, but because of how this deal that we had set up with the executive of the estate's working out. We have to try to get the property put over into our name, and we're trying to see if we can legally do that, which is a pain in the ass. Because I'm not a real estate lawyer, I have no idea how the hell the law works, and I keep coming up with 8 different answers for one simple question. And I don't know which answer is the correct one. So there's that issue. As for the future of my channel, I have no idea. I really don't. I could end up, like I said, waking up one morning. I have to look for another job. I could end up just finding a job where I'm not going to have any more time to do this and just say that's it. I'm sorry. I have to stop doing the channel because I don't have the time to do it. So I don't know what the future is of my channel. I really don't. I have no idea. What are your favorite webtoons of all time? I liked Super Secret. I loved Hardcore Leveling Warrior. I'm still reading Let's Play. I came across a few other ones that I liked. Really wish webtoons would not have started the stupid policy of you get 1 free a day for series that have concluded. Then you gotta pay to read the rest of them. Yeah. No, that I didn't like that. Because when Hardcore Leveling Warrior ended, I'm like, oh, cool, I want to... It's like a week or 2 later, I'm like, oh, I want to go back and I want to read a couple chapters of that. Nope. I'm going to safely say this. If it ever gets released in a physical form, I'll look into getting it. Because that's fucking webtoons to the wall. I mean, granted, it'll probably be webtoons that'll probably release it, but they'll be getting money that way, and I'll be able to read it whenever the fuck I want. I won't have to go in through your system. But yeah, like I said, Super Secret's what got me hooked on webtoons in the first place, because YouTube kept showing me the ad for it. And then they showed me the ad for Let's Play, and I'm like, oh, well, you already got me hooked on Super Secret. What the hell? Let's read Let's Play 2. Oh, this is really good. It's getting better. I'm not going to lie. It's getting better. And I'm like, oh, this is really good. I did read a few chapters of Tower of God. I did not fully read it. I couldn't get into it all. But it's still there. There's a few dozen other ones. I did read Toaster Dude. I thought that was really good. Now that one's also in the pain fucking bullshit thing now. And I mean, granted, okay, it makes sense because you have a server and everything, but still, for the love of God, it's... Come on. Trying to think of some other ones. Super Secret, like I said, Hardcore Leveling Warrior, Let's Play, Toaster Dude. There was one that I just started last night. I read I read at least 1 or 2 chapters of it. Sounds pretty interesting. But yeah, they're not too bad. They're kind of interesting in a way. But as far as my favorite webtoons, definitely Super Secret was my starting one. That was the one I really liked. Obviously, I do like Let's Play and Hardcore Leveling Warrior, which is badass. I did a rant video on it demanding that it get a fucking anime. That thing deserves an anime. That has anime written all over it. That'd be the next Naruto. I guarantee that could be the next Naruto. But, yeah. That's my favorite. So, that's it for the questions, folks. That's all I got. That's all she wrote. It's about an hour long. Hey, that's not too bad. Last ones were kind of short. But, yep. Oh, in case you're wondering, I'm just throwing it back into my handy-dandy little case here that has my my yellow speaker in. I love my little yellow speaker. I love this little yellow speaker. I love my speaker. Alright, but, yep. That'll do it then. Let me zip you up. Alright. But, yep, that'll pretty much do it then for this Q&A. So thank you all for tuning in. Next Q&A, let's see here. Piss off. That. Okay, let's go down here. September 25th. Have been by the 25th. If anything changes between now and then, I will immediately let you know. Have been by the 25th. Alright, and that's going to pretty much do it then for me, folks. I'm bowing out. I'll catch you later. So, bye.